How we doing?
How you doing? How about you?
Good.
With Leighton out, how does the practice and meeting routine change for Micah, if at all?
Yeah, it really doesn't. We know week to week we can have a different plan for him where we want to put him and how we want to feature him in that game. So he's ready to go on the ball, off the ball, whatever we need and however we want to utilize him for that week.
He gets so much attention. How do you kind of keep him engaged in terms of don't get frustrated? It's going to happen like it did on Monday night.
Yeah, no question. I mean, he's gonna. Offenses aren't going to let him wreck the game, and we know that, and that's why we have specific plans for him to move him around, utilize him in different ways, on the ball, off the ball, and you know what? For him, he just keep playing. I mean, good things are going to happen if he plays the game with his play style, with his violence, in at his best, he's going to make an impact on any game, no matter what, whether or not it's taking their protection, whether it's taking 2 or 3 guys out of it so other guys can eat. So he's valuable no matter what.
How impressed have you been with Bell?
Very impressed. I'm excited for Marquise and where he can go. You know what? He loves the game of football and he loves to compete, and that's where it starts. For him. So it doesn't matter what it is. I'd throw him into any situation and let him go play just based on the type of guy he is and the way he approaches the game.
Is all this with Rashawn getting him up to speed after signing last week and things? And is he a quick learner?
No question. He's doing well. I mean, we're just starting the process with him. He's played a ton of big-time football. I mean, he's got the Alabama pedigree. He's a veteran in this league. So it'll be a process getting him up to speed on just getting him ready to play physically. Mentally, we'll get him there. But you know, depth in the room. He's going to play a piece in that when it's all said and done. So we'll take the whole process with him to get him ready to go. But we see good things out of him right now.
Do you guys have a bye week, or do you got to be here every day?
What's that? No, we're working right through this thing, getting him ready to go. But no, it's good.
How have you seen Damone evolve as a player, and you know, how important is he going to be now moving forward?
Oh, it's huge. Damone's always had the right. He's the right person. I mean, it's everything about the young man is everything you want. He's really there's so much ahead of him too to where he can get to be. As he keeps taking these steps forward, it's just exciting because, I mean, the sky's the limit for him. Everything he does and what he puts into the game, it's exciting to think about where he can get to yet. And his best football still definitely ahead of him, even after the steps he's taken so far this year.
With Leighton's situation, is he able to be involved at all still? How does that work with the linebacker?
You know what? He's always going to be a piece of what we're doing. Leighton's, I mean, he's our leader in every form and fashion in that room, and he's going to be a huge part. I don't know what his future holds. You know, when he can get on the field, what's going to go on there. He's going to make those choices and decisions with the doctors and what's right for him. But he's always going to have a place in our room. That's for sure.
Have you ever had a unique linebacker room where you have guys that are built like safeties playing linebacker, and you have linebackers who are linebackers? You got a pass rusher who's kind of like,
You know what? I in my days in Green Bay, we kind of went back and forth with some different roles and how we did it. But it's an interesting group right now, that's for sure. But at the same time, they're good players. I mean, you move Mike off the ball, he can. I mean, he's an elite linebacker off the ball too. We got guys like Bell moving into the room. I mean, he can cover and do all those jobs. And then you've got a versatile guy like Moan who can run the way he is. I mean, it's a great group to have. I mean, you could look at it in some ways at a disadvantage, but I think there's a lot of advantages to how we're built right now too.
How do you combat, when teams try to get physical, because Bell is small, he's like 250.
You know what? I believe in the way Marquise plays the game. I mean, big guys can play small in this league too, but he's going to fight you. He's going to try to get on and off those blocks, and he's going to play physical with a mindset that we like. So you know what? It is what it is. If that's the way they want to get down, that's the way they want to get down. But he's ready to go for it.
All right, thank you.
if Malik is asked for to have a bigger role and stuff, what kind of roles do you see him having, and how can he excel in those?
You know what? Kind of time will tell how we evolve with everything there. Obviously, he's special teams captain last week, and that's the starting point for him there. And then we'll keep moving him into roles, as we feel he can excel in them, and put him in the best position whenever he gets on the field to help us win.
As Leighton has grown as a leader and basically became the quarterback of that defense, how much more difficult does that make it to try to move on without him and keep that defense where it was?
Yep. Nobody will ever be Leighton, that's for sure, and that, as intense as he is and how good of a communicator and how much he can control it. But Damone is right on top of his stuff. I'll give him credit. He knows it. He can take control of it. And when he's out there, it's his huddle, and he's getting the job done there.
Damone lends a lot of his progression to the mentoring from Leighton since Damone has come into the league.
Yeah.
From your standpoint, coaching standpoint, how much of that actually meshes?
It definitely does. I think, Damone, in just his mindset, how he approaches the game, all of those things, something that there's a lot of things that coach in the room just can't do in forms of talking to a player in different ways of how they truly see the game, of maybe a mindset thing about where a play can be made that a coach just it doesn't translate sometimes like that. And Leighton's always been there to talk to him. Even last week, with Leighton being out, I know they texted and had some conversations, and I know Leighton's right there for him every step of the way.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.